Good morning. Okay, we are on. All right, so today is a little bit of a different topic. It's about energy. So I did a bit of a short live stream yesterday where I spoke about, taking time away for the weekend to recharge the batteries and all the rest of it. And Amanda asked if there were any videos that I've created specifically around kind of the energy thing. And I probably created many over the years, but I couldn't remember any off the top of my head. So I thought what I would do today is come in and just talk with you a little bit about, I guess, how I manage my energy, and just really how important that is when it comes to, not just being able to create success in your coaching business, but show up as a really powerful coach and also a human being, like a good human being that is, self-aware, in touch with themselves, all those sorts of things, because so important when it comes to being a coach, right? So I made a few notes, and the first thing that I want to remind you is that pretty much everything is energy. Everything is energy. And when people see us online, when they read the things that we write, when they watch our live streams or our videos, what they're picking up on pretty immediately is our energy, our vibe, right? And so we need to make sure that our energy says the things that we want it to say. And what we don't want it to say is that we're scared or fearful, or especially if we're running discovery calls and things like that, we don't want to be putting the vibe out there that, we're greedy or grabby, or that we're scared, or that we're insecure, or we're worried or anxious, or any of those things, right? Unless, of course, we're talking about that thing. But generally, the energy that we want to be putting out there on the internet as a coach and as a business owner is that we're confident, and we're aligned. We know who we are. We feel good in our skin. We're confident in our coaching abilities. We're competent. All those things, super important. So let me just talk about the way I manage energy. As I mentioned yesterday, my daughter's in hospital and my son's really struggling with that. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on in my personal life around my kids that, we've been dealing with these things for a while now. So, I'm pretty good at dealing with them, but sometimes, there just comes a point where things start to feel draining, or something happens and it knocks you for six or whatever it is, and as I say, this has been going on for a long time. So, I guess I've got really good at managing my energy around that. And so I know when I need downtime. And I know that if I'm in that space of feeling worried and anxious about my kids and sad and all those things, if I try to go on the internet and be a really powerful human showing up for other humans, it's not always going to go well. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not always going to go well. And so I have to make sure that usually I would feel a little bit more vulnerable potentially because I'd be emotional. And so I have to do the work around either making the decision that today's not the day, or just bringing myself back into alignment so that I feel like I'm okay to be able to go out there, share my message, feel good about it, feel confident about it, and feel powerful. And for me, that's just usually just taking a moment of quiet. But then there are times where I feel like last week, where I feel like everything was starting to pile on top of me a little bit. And as coaches, we are always giving. It's an output, right? There's not a lot of input that comes in. Oh, thanks, Jason. So coaching is output. It's all about output. It's about supporting other people, giving other people what they need, being on tap for people to be able to help them with what they need, because that's basically what they're paying us for and what we're here for. And so sometimes the tap runs dry, when we are feeling like and for most of us, we don't even consider it because we are giving, nurturing, supportive individuals. That's how we show up as coaches. That's our role, right? And then sometimes it doesn't work anymore and you feel like, oh, I'm feeling depleted, or maybe there's a little bit of resentment that shows up with, oh, I've got to go deal with that thing, or I've got to check in with that client or whatever. And if you're feeling those things when you normally love all those things, that's a sign that your tank is empty and you need to go fill up. And so the way that I do that is shut down the computer, and I will always find a reason to I'm reading a book on Amazon, on Kindle, for example. It's like, oh, there's a link. I better go follow that link. So I just have to shut down all computer stuff, because otherwise I will just follow all leads back, all roads lead back to the internet. So I usually will go and buy some sort of workbook that has me doing inner work. So two of my favorites are, one is called The Game of Life, I think it is the name of that one. One is Creative Visualization. It's a workbook as well, and it takes you through like the inner work, and it takes you through creating visions and things like that. And so I just go quiet. I have to go back and remind myself, what do you want your life to be about? Like, what do you want right now? What do you need right now? What's going to feel fulfilling? What's going to feel exciting? For me, one of my values is excitement. And I used to think that was a little bit superficial, but it's like, I love excitement in my life. I love it. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So I have to honor that, and go back and think about, well, what's missing? Like, what do I want my life to be about? And where do I feel like things are missing? And then how can I bring that balance back so that I feel like I'm aligned to, so that my thoughts and my actions and behaviors and habits and things like that are aligning to the bigger thing that I want to achieve. And then it's just taking time to reflect, and however long that takes, and doing some journaling and getting back in touch with that. And, I had an amazing journaling session on Sunday where I went and sat in a cafe with my journal, and just had this major kind of download of all the things that came out of me. And one of the things was that, for such a long time now, and in my business, I've been so hell-bent on creating certainty, and stability and safety in my life. And, that's having grown up in a childhood that wasn't safe and wasn't all of those things. And so I realized, why am I not feeling as turned on by my life as I should be right now? And I spoke about all the things I'm trying to achieve and all the things, and I wrote about all of that stuff. And then I had this moment where the question came up, and it was like, well, what if certainty and safety weren't actually the values that are most important to me? What if excitement and adventure are actually, what if I let those be my driving forces? What if I let excitement and adventure be what drives me? And I'll come back to that, Jason. And then I thought, that's what's missing. And then I just allowed myself to journal about what that would look like. And of course, part of it was, it's a bit scary to just be driven by excitement and adventure and all those sorts of things when I'm so serious and I like to have my ducks in a row and all of the rest of it. And I had this moment where I realized that I've been trying to make my life a container when it's a freaking river. Like, it's flowing, it's always flowing. And you get off, sometimes you get off the river and you go do a thing, but you're always on the river. Like, it's not a container. And so then I started to think about what this river of life journey looked like, and it just opened me up. And so I felt expanded and excited about my life